when I look back into the personal development I've made over the years, I think it's a good opportunity to give thanks to God. And I also want to appreciate my family. My dad is right here, and my brother is also here. I want to appreciate them for the good opportunity to give me first, the fear of God, and secondly, a good education. The two that are perfectly combined to build a solid business and managing a product of this nature. I'm very, very passionate about church, and probably maybe because I was born and raised in a Christian family. So that means that I observed firsthand how my dad went about ministry and the problems that he was facing. That informed the kind of solution that we needed to build for the church and then the ministry at large. Now, I'll be talking briefly about church administration and technology. How is the future looking like? When we talk about church and when we talk about technology, how are we going to engage the two? And I want to say that in 1950, the problems that existed in ministry are not the same problems that exist today. I hate to tell you this truth, but I just have to say it anyway. And in as much as many people will not agree with me, I'll still have to tell you because it's the fact that technology is here and it has come to stay. Whether we like it or not, technology has become an integral part of our lives. And when we wake up, from the time we get out of bed to the time we get back to bed, it's technology that takes us, all over. Communicating with our friends, buying stuff online, everything we do almost goes through technology. And the church is not left out. The church is not left out. And that is the notion that most church leaders have, that when it comes to technology, we don't want to mix gospel, or we don't want to mix the word of God with technology. When we do that, we will end up diluting the word of God. I don't think that is true. The word of God is still the same, but the medium in which it is dissipated, the medium in which it is sent out there is what is changing. And like one of our pastors said today, if Jesus were to be in our days, probably he might have been on Facebook, and we have a lot of followers tweeting here and there and all that. And that is the beauty of technology. The church just has to adapt and embrace the technology that has come up. That is the hard truth, and we just have to embrace it. And it's rather unfortunate that we can't do anything about it, because technology keeps changing, things keep evolving. When we talk about internet, we talk about the internet, and the internet keeps growing. Now we have internet of things, no longer just internet of data, but things are also on the internet. I can be in the office and still control my devices at home. And it's amazing the number of apps that we have surrounding us. Not just apps to make purchases, not just apps to study and all that, but like Asoriba, we have apps that help us to go to church, or apps to put the entire church experience in our pockets. And it's also amazing the media content that surrounds us. Now, you as a leader or as a pastor, you cannot control the kind of content that your church members are out there consuming. The internet has both the good and then the bad aspect of it all coming together. But we believe that in as much as the world is trying to take our attention and they are bringing in a lot of distractions, it's high time we Christians also get up, provide the same digital content that our church members can consume. And that is why we are building Asoriba. And finally, we are no longer serving just the local churches, but our churches are now multicultural. We have people from UK, US, Ghana, all coming together to worship. And that means that whatever we do must appeal to all these audiences. And that is the more reason we have to employ technology. Now, these are the trends that we have observed over time. That online pastoral care is something that has come to stay. You don't have to meet your church member personally, physically, before you can give the person counseling or do with the person and all that. We can see that people can go online now, meet their pastors online, and even receive prophecies online. It is not something we have introduced, but it's already happening. We talk about Facebook Live, and it's amazing the number of church members that tune in just to listen to their pastor preach, and the reactions and all those things that follow. It is a trend that we are seeing, and it's going to continue into the future. E-leadership and then development. Church leadership has also migrated online. You don't necessarily have to gather all the leaders of your various churches, whether they are in the villages or they are in the cities or in abroad. You don't have to meet all of them before you can roll out a training program. You have resources online that people can download and consume. You have resources online that people can study and be part of the leadership training. And the most important thing, the church is not there to make money, but we cannot identify that the church needs money to run. Now, this member of yours that has traveled to the US, doesn't mean he won't pay his tithes all this while he's there. Or probably have to join another church and then pay his tithes over there. But what if we can give you a channel so that this one member can still pay his tithes when he has traveled? I mean, these are things that we have done personally, and we see that it is good. So we are bringing it back to the churches. And some of these solutions don't have to be like foreign solutions that need to be brought to us. We are here, we experience the problems, we know exactly how people need it to be done, and so we provide that same solution. And that is exactly why we use Asoriba. These are some of the things that we are providing to you, the church leaders. The application is entirely online, which means that wherever you are, any point in time, you can still pick your phone, you can still pick your tablet, you can pick your laptop or any device at all, just get online, and you have real-time access to all the data, all the resources, the finances, and all that. And you can monitor to the minute details of things that are going on in the very remote branch of your church. And we haven't neglected those who do not have the luxury of getting these devices. We have introduced USSD, which means that even with the least feature phone you have, you can still make a contribution, or you can still contribute some way to the development of your church. And not just that, we have made leadership more available. Like we are saying, get up in the morning, post a devotion, and see how your members are interacting with that devotion. That is one way the leaders are getting closer to their members. Members are able to send prayer requests to the leaders. Leaders are able to pray for them, wish them happy birthday. Call them once in a while, or send them messages directly from the platform. And the resources that we talk about for leadership training, you can put all these things online. I read something interesting this morning that people no longer go about, driving about looking for churches. They Google the churches, and once they can't find you, it means you do not exist. That is what it means. If they Google and they can't find that maybe XYZ church is not online, then it means you virtually don't exist. So churches that have, capitalized on this opportunity and have embraced technology are the ones that are going to trend in the future. And we don't want it to be left out, so we are providing the necessary infrastructure and the technology to help grow your ministry. And content, like I said, there is so much content out there, both the good and the bad, and you cannot be sure what your members are consuming. It is amazing that you get up in the morning, you post a devotion on WhatsApp or Facebook or any of those platforms, and the next video somebody is going to post may be directly contradictory to what you have posted previously. And that is why we decided to isolate the kingdom content and put it just on Asoriba. So when you go on Asoriba, you know all the content that you need about Christian lifestyles and every other thing is just there. So you don't have that, headache of filtering through good and bad content. Everything is just at your disposal, and you can check in real time how members are interacting with you. And Asians as well, like I said, wherever I am in the world, I can still pay my tithes and offering. Once I have my cards or my bank accounts or mobile money, any of these channels, you can always get in touch with my church and make any payment at all. It's not just limited to tithes. Okay, it can be for the building, it can be for a bus project or any other thing. And we are providing all these things to you. Church stores and e-commerce. So in the near future, we are building a member portal. And in addition to that, we are adding a church shop and e-commerce platform where you, the leaders, can post content. It's something we already do. We sell DVDs in church. We sell church calendars. We sell music, and a whole lot of resources. Why don't you put these same things online? So I don't have to come to church before I can access them. If I'm in the US, I can still buy my sermon right here in Accra. And that is the beauty of technology. So it's very obvious. These are what we've been trying to do. We're trying to drive deeper engagement. In a flourishing church community, by bringing effective church administration to you, the leaders, and a financial freedom to the members. And this together, we believe, is the impact that we want to drive, and that is Asoriba. Thank you very much. And thank you so much. At this point, I'll call on Patrick, Jesse, to come and talk a little bit about the mobile aspect. And we pick it up from the very short presentation. Thank you so much.
Here we go. Oh, Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jesse Jojo Johnson. I'm in charge of mobile products at Asoriba. I'd like to welcome every one of you to the future of the church in Ghana and in Africa and potentially in the rest of the world. Now, let's go back to the very beginning. Ever since Christ came down to call the 12, ever since Christ came down to call the 12, I'm sure you understand that Christianity has always thrived at the communal level. Ever since the apostles set up churches in Asia Minor, they created small, close-knit societies of people, of passionate believers, who edified each other with the word of God and with insights, guided by the Spirit. That still guides the global Christian community today. So, at the very core of it, Christianity has always been a social phenomenon. Now, if there's anything you agree with me on today, it's the fact that human society changed. In the last few decades, we've seen the internet completely transform the way we communicate with each other, the way we interact with each other, the way we see each other. Today, you do not need to live with someone to feel close to the person. Relationships are conducted online. Now, this isn't something that is only true of the developed world. In 2015, we learned that mobile phone penetration in this country stands at 120%, which is quite ridiculous because that's actually larger than the population of this country. So there are more phones engaging in communication than there are people in this country. Also very interesting is that 18 million people actively use data services. So they access all the world's information right in the palm of their hands. They download apps to keep in touch with friends, family, and whatnot. Now, this does something interesting to society. It transforms society in a rather curious way. So today I can confidently say that we exist in two parallel worlds. There's the physical world, which is this physical reality we all share. I can touch you, you can touch me, we can talk face to face. And then there's the virtual world. It's ephemeral, it's digital. You can't touch it, but it impacts lives. Information spreads quickly. There are 3 million Ghanaians on Facebook. There are thousands of us on WhatsApp. Today I can bet that every single individual in this room has got a device in their pocket with which I can use to communicate with them wherever they are in the world. And if you gave me your full names, I'm sure I can find 98% of you on Facebook. Ghanaians have embraced digital societies. What's the church doing about it? The church is doing a lot about it. In Ghana, some of our most vibrant personalities on social media are pastors. They preach the word of God. They have mass followings in the hundreds of thousands. They do that on Facebook, they do that on Twitter, they do that on Instagram, some do that on WhatsApp. Now, as Asoriba, we believe that we can go a step further than Facebook. For about 2 years, we've been building a Christian community online. The crucial thing about Asoriba's community is that it is built by Christians, for Christians, with Christianity in mind. We built it for the Christian community in order to propagate the gospel. It is a home